Morning eDirt, Hollywood here, back online. It's always going to be a bit odd this time of year. We're not going to come to air every single week because there's not something going on every single week at the moment. Everything's rolling off. What did go down this weekend though was some real cool stuff. Let's start with our international satellite riders. So Wade Young, Travis Teasdale, Double T, Blake Goodsight. They're really strong riders at the moment, and they're really putting South Africa solidly back on the map as far as World Extreme Enduro goes. So coming off his win about a month or so ago at Romaniacs, finally getting the win at Romaniacs as well, Wade Young on the factory Sherco, broke his duck, got that done, and is held form as well. So he didn't qualify the fastest at 111 megawatt, but he did go fastest on race day. So he's now gone back-to-back wins, which is the first time he's ever done that in the history of all his riding. So he's really on that wave at the moment. You know, he's come off a couple of seasons of injuries and up and down mechanical problems. 2018 has been the year of Wade, and had he started a little bit stronger, he could have been challenging for the overall WESS, World Enduro Super Series title that at the moment is still held by Johnny Walker, although everyone else is starting to close him down now. It was a notable top 10 finish for Double T as well as Blake Goodsight as well. So their contracts for 2019 should also be looking pretty strong. But really strong ride, and to go back to back at world level, that means you're beating people like, you know, Tadej Blazusiak, an extremely in form, another rider who's absolutely pinning it in 2018, and that's Billy Bolt, Johnny Walker, and all the South African riders that make the trip overseas. So good job there, Wado, in very strong form, and that'll see him probably break inside of a top 5, possibly top 4 overall come the end of the year as far as the series goes. He's definitely going to be eyeballing another win at Roof to really end off. At the moment, Roof isn't part of that WESS series, but it's potentially going to get listed at some point. It has to. It's really tough. The guys say it's really tough. It really should be on the list. And hopefully I'm going to be making it up to the 2018 running of the Motul Roof of Africa in its 51st year, I think it is as well. So that was on the international side of the coin. Locally, couple of farm races going down, a couple of local enduro races in the snow as well. The Dragon's Back was this weekend in the snow, but the real story locally is what's coming up this weekend, and that is the double header big banger, GXCC and the final round of the National Off-Road Championship. So that's huge. We've been kind of waiting for this one for a long time, since Lawrence and Marilyn picked up the mantle and took over from the GOC club and started running the GXCCs. To see them run in national, that's what everyone's been waiting for. So it's signed off, it's job done, and everyone's been asking about how it's going to be running. Well, it's going to be running in exactly the same GXCC format as we've been running in the club and regional events. So don't be scared off that it's a national. It's going to be bigger and harder and gnarlier. For the national guys, yes, it is going to be slightly longer than a normal GXCC, and that's based on national rules. Of course, for national rules, you have to complete a certain amount of riding time and a certain amount of riding distance for it to be called a national. For GXCCs, normal for the juniors, 2-hour format. For the quad seniors and quad senior and senior motorcycles, 3 hours. And then if you're racing in the nationals, then you get decontrolled, and then you go out for the remainder of the race. So that'll make sure the track is clear of all regional and club riders, and then the national guys get to go out for, I think it's another 2 hours of racing for the afternoon session. So it's a very busy, very long day, and Lawrence has been out there doing a sterling job as always, making sure the track is marked, pinned, and absolutely perfect. So that's coming up this weekend, so make sure you guys are entered. Don't be scared away from the fact that it's a national. The national guys will be there, but remember, at a GXCC, most of the national guys are there anyway. There'll be 5, 6, maybe 7 more extra guys in each of the lineup queues that have traveled from around the country, but it's a standard GXCC plus VAT. That's how it's going to be called. After that, we start heading into the last couple of rounds of Farm Jam. Watch out for a collaboration that's coming up as well. I'm working with the guys from Farm Jam in conjunction with Tracks KTM, and they've got something extra special. Hang on to that thought for now. I will be reminding you of that over the next couple of weeks, but something really cool specifically for you extreme and enduro cross riders. So put a pin in that one. Hollywood will bring you all the information when it's ripe and ready to eat. For now, we just came out of the last round of the National Motocross, and that was up in Welkom. It was a penultimate round, and the Yamaha boys have picked up the pieces of the early part of their season. It didn't look like Purdon and Goose were going to be able to go and defend their #1 plates that they got from last year in the MX1 and MX2s. The whole basically middle part and early part of the season has been all about Husqvarna, Caleb Tennant. He's been ruling the roost, he really has. And then the last couple of rounds, he's been taking a couple of beatings. He takes wins, but he's not taking overalls at the moment. And that's allowing the Yamaha duo to come on strong. So wins in MX1s and MX2s overall, respectively, coming out of Welkom for the Goose and Purdon. That allows them to start climbing the ladder as they head into their final round of the Motocross National Championship. We catch our breath, and all of a sudden, we're going to be heading into the month of October, where things get really thin on the ground. I'm going to sign off with that one, though. My next report back will be next weekend, when we come back from the GXCC penultimate round and National Off-Road final round to see who's going to be crowned national champions. It looks like at the moment that it's come down to, I think, 2 or 3 points between Ross Branch and Kenny Gilbert. Ross is in the lead at the moment, but Kenny has closed him down big time, taking the last couple of wins. In the OR2s, yeah, it's a flip of a coin at the moment. Cole is in good shape in the OR2s. He's had a very consistent year, even though he missed out the first round. Taki has had an up and down. He's without the throwaways, he's a championship points leader. With the throwaways, it's Cole. And unfortunately, after problems down in Cape Town, Lawrence Mahoney is out of the championship. Delport may in fact find his way up into a top 3 overall this year. That's the OR2s. In the OR3s, it's a big battle at the moment. Bradley Cox, Stefan van Deventer, and at the moment championship points leader Jared Coetzee, who actually separated his collarbone at the previous round of the GXCCs. He said he's strong enough to hold together. It's going to be a gnarly one, though. I think he has to finish inside the top 5 to walk away with his first ever national title, and everyone's got their fingers crossed for Jazz, because he's basically had a championship on the plate for the last 3 years, and for the last 3 years he's spaghettied his leg or broken a wrist, or it's just been a shopping list of injuries, mainly around his legs and knees area. So for his championship and for his seat at Factory KTM as well, because they've been hanging on to him knowing that he's got a championship in him, but he hasn't quite delivered it as yet. But I think it's coming this time around. So it's all to play for. It's going to be very exciting. We won't go shopping listing and go through all the categories right now. I'll review that after next week, after we wrap up at Carltonville for the last round of the National Off-Roads and the penultimate round of the GXCC series. So for now, let's go play in the traffic. Have a great day, have a great week, and Hollywood will be back next week to report back from Carltonville. Cheers.